Welcome back. Yes, it was molecule. Well, David, we were talking yesterday about, you know, retiring and, well, what do you do when you retire? One of the things lots of people do is hit the road.
Hit the road. In fact, it's one of my great pleasures to travelling or exploring Australia. And this gives rise to a particular tribe of people. Now, these people may be retirees, but there's anyone who sort of gets swept up in that craze of travelling around with a caravan gets bundled into that tribe called the grey nomads. Now, the word nomad actually has a beautiful origin. It comes from Greek nomos, which means a pasture or field. And it follows the idea that herdsmen would travel around in search of fodder, just as a drover does in our own setting. But the grey nomads actually have a nickname in Northern Territory in Kimberley, which I did hear more than one occasion when I was travelling, and it's the silver birds. And
That's a lovely nickname.
It is, and it obviously relates to the caravans that they drag behind them, which are sort of large and sort of that silver colour. And they also migrate, much like a flock too, so there is that idea of sort of mass migration. But the other word, and neither of these words have yet to hit the dictionary, but it was a word that I've heard Chris Masters report upon, and it's a word that I've seen and heard as well. It's a lovely ritual amongst the grey nomads called fivesies.
So what does fivesies involve?
Well, it's actually like a sunset soiree that just naturally happens at any caravan park, and I'm sure there are some people out there who may have just come from fivesies. Now they're at sixies watching the show, but it's a great way of meeting people. You head for the sort of main part of the park or a sort of natural lookout.
So it's getting together for drinks, basically.
That's all it is.
Once the sun's gone over the yardarm.
Exactly right. It's modelled on the idea of 11s, which is a quaint word for morning tea because people would gather at 11. But the Australians have made it their own using alcohol, which is not to be over-indulged upon. But I love the idea that just strangers can assemble at 5 and call it fivesies.
Well, for anyone who's just had their fivesies and is now watching the show, we hope you're having a great bit of travelling. Thank you, David. Let's have a look at our scores. Ed is on 13. Jeremy is on 23. We're heading for some more letters. What do you fancy, Ed?
Could I start with a vowel, please, Lily?
Thanks, Ed. E.
And a consonant.
N.
And another consonant, please.
L.
And a third.
S.
And a vowel, please.
I.
And another vowel.
E.
And another vowel.
A.
And a consonant, please.
C.
And a final consonant, please.
And lastly, N.
And here's the clock. How did you go with that mix, Ed?
A 7.
And Jeremy?
A 7 as well.
And yours was?
Silence.
And yours, Ed?
Silence.
Silence as well. Again, just verify you've done the same thing. Very quiet over here, but very effective.
Very quiet, but I'm starting to get a fishy feeling about these two. They're playing so well. Now, obviously, silence is good. An anagram of licence, another 7. Now, I added an A to those letters and mixed for salience, which is the noun for describing something that is conspicuous or prominent, and it comes from the Latin saliens, which leaping forth, so something that leaps forward, and thankfully, salience leapt from that mix.
Great word, David. Thank you very much. Great score for Jeremy and Ed, 7 points each. Well, 3 identical words in a row for Jeremy and Ed. Let's see if we can make it different this time. Jeremy, your turn.
Could I start with a consonant, please?
You can, thank you. T.
And a vowel?
I.
A consonant?
N.
A vowel?
E.
A consonant?
F.
A vowel?
O.
A consonant?
R.
A vowel?
E.
And a consonant to finish, thank you.
And last letter, H.
Thanks, Lily. 30 seconds. What did you get from that mix, Jeremy?
I got a 6 this time, Richard.
And you, Ed?
And a 5.
A 5. So we have a split. Let's start with that 5 first.
The 5 was thine, T-H-I-N-E.
Thank you. Jeremy?
I had refine.
Refine. That sounds good, David.
Well played. A good 6 to find. And thine, of course, would have been fine. It's the archaic form of thou, yours. And I found neither.
Oh. Oh,
For 7.
very nicely done. It's all in the expression.
It
isn't
is, I'm sorry.
Well done, David. Well done, Jeremy, as well. 6 points. Let's head back to the numbers now. And Ed, what's your choice this time?
Lily, can I have 1 large and 5 small numbers, please?
Thanks, Ed. That's 1 large and 5 small. We haven't had this in a while, have we, Richard?
No, it's a nice adventurous choice.
It is. And our numbers, 2, 2, 5, 4, 4, and the large number is 50, and the target number is 134.
Let's head there now. Well, Ed, you were being the adventurer with that interesting mix. How did you go?
Yeah, I got 134.
134, right on target. Good work, Jeremy.
134 also.
OK. Ed, take us through your approach first, please.
Sure, so I went 5 minus 2 is 3,
5 minus 2 is 3.
times the 50 is 150.
550 is 150.
Then I went 4 plus 4 is 8,
4 plus 4 is 8.
times the other 2 is 16,
By the 2 is 16.
and subtract from 150 to get 134.
134. Well done.
Excellent method. Right on the target. How did you do it, Jeremy? Was it the same?
Mine was quite similar. I did, I got the same way to 150, but then instead of that line, I've done 4 times 4 for 16. And
Yeah, so
subtracted
did
that
I.
16.
Well done.
So 4 by 4 and same result, 134. Great result for Jeremy and Ed. 10 points each. That means that Ed is now on 30. Jeremy is on 46. It's another brief break with a word mix that is lurid ice. And your clue, you might be picked on and laughed at if you don't solve this one. See you soon.